Hello and welcome to the Liverpool versus Tottenham preview, and it is another game on 4:30 on Sunday. It's at Anfield this time though, and I'm feeling positive about it. I'm feeling good about it. We're going to go over some of our previous games, their previous games as well. It's going to be a difficult game, no doubt. It's going to be a tough game, and our Tottenham, have they just had a very good fixture for them to get them back into form ahead of playing against Liverpool? And have we just had the same as well? Possibly, hopefully so anyway. Let me know what your thoughts are ahead of the game. Let me know who you think should be starting and what the lineup should be for this game. And maybe try and let me know what your prediction, score prediction, anything like that might be for this game. Right, let's get into it. So, last two games for us, Man United 1-1, and it was a pretty lacklustre performance in some ways, but again, not too bad in other ways. Then we went to Genk, played away at Genk, and we won 4-1. Arguably should have been 4-0, but it was just a lapse of, a defensive lapse, shall we say, that conceded the goal in the 88th, 89th minute or something, whatever it was. But other than that, it was a game that was controlled by us, scored some good goals. Oxlade-Chamberlain really came to the forefront in that game as well. But as Klopp said, there's things that we can improve, and I think the things that you'd have to look at there in terms of improvements would be how open we can sometimes be left when when fullbacks are flying up and down, and even Milner was playing right back against Genk, and even he was getting up and down the byline, and even then, if you're getting caught down the pitch with players that or teams that have pace, players with buckets of pace, like Genk's some of their players did have a lot of pace, to be fair, more than I expected. They will catch you, and then the midfield isn't necessarily there to help out that back for you. So you're basically defending with Van Dijk and whoever's next to him, be it Joel Matip preferably, or on this case Lovren. Now Lovren did switch off for the goal, but it was also a collective mistake from everybody that basically just stood there and just went and just watched it happen. And it's one of them really. It was disappointing. I would have loved to have come away with a clean sheet, as I think everybody would have, but we got the win, an important win for us. And we move on. Tottenham, on the other hand, they got a draw at Watford last time out. Now, Watford have been struggling a great deal in this season. Already sacked the manager, brought an old manager back in. And, they struggled against Watford. I think Watford scored, I think it was Doucouré or something, scored very early on. I think Tottenham scored late on. One of them. It was a strange one for Tottenham, and it's been a strange season for Tottenham, who are currently, they're maybe sitting higher than they thought they would be at this point, considering how poor they started, sitting in 7th. But it's going to make getting into the top 4, which would be their priority, to be honest, very, very difficult, especially when you see what the likes of Leicester did last night. Jesus Christ, 9-0. My God. I can't even, Southampton. I remember Southampton beating Sunderland 8-0 one time. Are Southampton turning into Sunderland? Because that was ridiculous. Unbelievable. So you're seeing performances like that. You're going to see performances similar to that from Man City. You're going to see Chelsea really pushing for top 4 as well. Leicester obviously being in there as well. Us, Liverpool. Who else is going to be wanting to push for it? I can't even think. Man United are so far away from it. I can't imagine them putting a late push on or anything. So Tottenham, it's going to be a priority for them to get top 4 and probably do quite well in the Champions League, maybe. In the Champions League, their fixture was against Red Star Belgrade, our opponents from last season, and they beat them 5-0. So quite comprehensive, really. And that's what I mean by have Tottenham possibly played themselves into form at just the right time to face Liverpool. Possibly. I think a good spread of their players got the goals as well. So yeah, they're going to be wanting to look at us thinking, right, we've just scored a good load of goals. Hopefully, going to play ourselves back into form. But we are a different prospect to Red Star Belgrade. Red Star Belgrade are a good team, no doubt. They showed us that last season. We beat them 4-0, and then they beat us 4-2 when we played them away. Maybe Tottenham might suffer the same fate. Who knows? It's a difficult place to go away to. But coming to Anfield is difficult for anybody. It is. from anyone from the bottom of our league to Barcelona, as we saw last season. It is not a place that people enjoy coming to. And I'm hoping that we can, team selection and everything, if it's spot on, if it's nice, if it's good, I think we can definitely win this game. No doubt, I absolutely do think we can win this game. Now, changes that I would like to see in terms of personnel. Now, let's put aside the fact that Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain had a fantastic game midweek. It did leave us exposed in some ways, and I think it may be a case for now. You have to have one or the other. You can't necessarily have both. Now, that might raise your eyebrow a little bit and be like, why? Because it left us defensively exposed against Genk, who aren't even as poor as Tottenham have been this season, aren't on the level that Tottenham are. They don't have that level of player. Now, on the flip side of that, Tottenham basically have one player with buckets of pace in Lucas. Son has some. Tottenham, Harry Kane doesn't really have a great deal of pace. He's more about, trying to run into the box late and using his physicality as well. It's one of them. They will pose different problems, but that defence, if Trent and Robbo are going to be flying up and down the wings, which they will be, that's how we play. We play that way against every single team we play against, and if that's what's going to happen, that the midfield needs to come back on defence. And for me, that's Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, and it's either going to be Oxlade-Chamberlain or Naby Keita, and I'm genuinely torn over who it should be. Oxlade-Chamberlain, because he scored the goals midweek and he's coming up against Tottenham. He's going to want to play against Tottenham, being a former Arsenal player as well. He is going to want to play that game, and a lot of people are really backing him for it. Then you got Naby Keita, who is one of the best ball-carrying midfielders in the Premier League. He's not shown it a great deal yet. Hasn't had the opportunity to, with the fact that he hasn't been able to stay fit. But if he can stay fit, then he will be one of the best ball-carrying and passing midfielders in the Premier League, no doubt. So it's a toss-up between those two. For me, I'm siding on Oxlade-Chamberlain at the moment because he scored the goals, and goals is the currency that we need at the moment. It really is. It's that it gives you something completely different from midfield that people don't know what to expect. They don't know where he's going to be. They don't know how to mark him because he can play pretty much anywhere. He would be the definition of literal box to box. He will come back and defend, and he will go and attack at the highest of the pitch. That is exactly what he can do. He's very, very good at doing that. And now that we've got him back and hopefully playing himself into good form himself and the team creatively, I would go with that midfield. Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Then you've got the option of having Naby Keita to come on later on as well. Not saying that Naby Keita can't start this game. I would not be disappointed in the slightest if he did. I'd love it. It'd be fantastic. It just means you lose a little bit of that defensive solidity when you take someone like Gini Wijnaldum out, which we saw midweek anyway. The rest of the team picks itself. You know what it's going to be. Trent's fit, Matip's back. You know the rest of the team. I don't need to talk about it. So yes, in terms of that though, we're playing at Anfield. We're playing Tottenham, big team. Another big game in succession for us. Following on from Manchester United and a difficult away game for us, considering we barely win any of our away games in Europe. Well, in the group stages anyway. Yes. So, what do I think result-wise? I think we'll concede. I do. I think I'd love it if we didn't. I'd love a clean sheet. Who wouldn't love a clean sheet? I'd love Alisson to get a massive, big clean sheet. But I've just got a feeling we will concede because that's just kind of how it goes lately. We concede. That's how it goes. Clean sheets aren't a thing that we like anymore. But I think we can come out of here with a 2-1 or 3-1 victory. I think that we could, I think Mane is going to be on form. I think Salah's going to put in a good game. I think Firmino is going to, again, put in a good game like he always does. And I think that change in midfield with Oxlade-Chamberlain coming in could be vital. Let me know what you think in the comments below, though. How do you think this game is going to go down? Score predictions, lineup predictions, any of that sort of business. Let me know it in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.